welcome to cloudmom.com. As with any type of baby gear, when you're wearing your baby in a baby carrier, you want to make sure you follow all of the necessary safety guidelines. So consult your product manual very carefully and seek help whenever you have a question and you're confused about how to use your baby carrier. In addition to those things, here are some general guidelines you should keep in mind whenever you're having your baby in a carrier. The general rule of thumb is that your baby needs to be high and tight. And one of the main reasons for this is something called positional asphyxiation. It's a very scary thing, and basically what it means is that the baby is not in the right position to breathe. The chin of the baby goes down and hits the chest, and it cuts off the baby's airflow. So this, of course, you want to avoid at all costs. And the way you do that with a baby carrier is by making sure your baby is high and tight. The general rule is that there should be 2 fingers between the chin and the chest of the baby. I would aim for even more. You want your baby upright, not slouched over. And also, you want to make sure you have a direct pathway of air to the baby, okay? In addition to that, when it comes to the position of your baby in the carrier, here are some general things to think about. Hip and leg position. Generally, the bum should be below the knees. The baby's going to be in what is technically called a spread squat position once he's old enough to do that. And before that, he'll be in a legs in position until his hips mature enough to allow him to go out, at which point his legs can often be outside of the carrier, depending on the type of carrier. Neck support. You always want to make sure your baby has proper neck support. With certain carriers, you can be doing something additional to either roll up the carrier or to use a washcloth or a towel to give the baby extra neck support. You also want to keep this in mind when you're considering wearing your baby on your back. Make sure your baby has sufficient neck control to be worn on your back. 2 more points on tightness. When your baby is high and tight, you're going to be able to easily bend your own head down and kiss your baby on the top of the head. And secondly, your carrier should be so tight that you feel that if you tighten it anymore, you are starting to slouch over. And actually, in the vast majority of cases, people do not wear their baby carriers tight enough. So tight, 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 high and tight, like a pair of 70s jeans. Final comment on safety with nursing. There are many carriers in which you can safely nurse your baby, but as soon as you are finished nursing, you need to make sure your baby comes right back to that high and tight position. Do not wear your baby, walk with your baby for an extended period of time while your baby is in that nursing position. That is not safe. Anyone else have any general safety tips when it comes to carriers that you would like to contribute? I would really appreciate it if you could weigh in by commenting on this video on cloudmom.com. This is an incredibly important issue. Carriers can be very, very safe when worn properly, but like any type of baby gear, you have to follow the guidelines in your product manual, seek help, and think about these general issues as well when you wear your baby in your carrier. So best of luck with your baby wearing, and thank you so much for watching Cloud Mom.